Yeah, it's looking to be pretty... It's in the green, so we shouldn't be getting drops and buffering for you guys. There might be some coughing today, though, because, like as I said, I've been battling a coronavirus, not the coronavirus. Not COVID-19, but I do have the common cold, which is also a coronavirus. And it just sucks. It really does suck. So... Oh, you can just, yeah, dump it and get me another one. Thank you. I really, one night I couldn't breathe. The other night, or last night was fine, but I woke up and all of my, like, the post-nasal drip, the husband's making me some right now. The post-nasal drip, like, completely, clogged up all of my, like, sinus passages. It's horrible. It's horrible, and I hate it. And I'm sure I don't sound quite myself because I'm not. I'm still all congested, but somebody... Oh, it's this notification here. So... But it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get through this. I'm getting a little better every day. I haven't checked these. I haven't been logged on in like 3 days because I've been working on that proof editing job. I want to get it done. It's like my goal is to have it done this week. So I haven't really done much in Final Fantasy because I've been working on it. So I'm just checking these real quick and then we'll get started. No, seriously, I've been sitting on it for a while. I actually stopped right before Endwalker released, and I didn't touch it for like 2 full months. I didn't touch that, and the guy finally comes up. He's like, "Well, we're porting it to the mobile iPhone or whatever, Android and shit." And I'm like, oh, fine, I'll finish it up. So I have made it a goal of mine that I will not play any of my Otome visual novels until I get this job done. So that's forcing me through, because you know BB10, that I want to romance all those mobsters really bad, because they're mobsters. Okay. So, no, seriously, this is actually motivating me. Otherwise, my motivation would be in the fucking toilet. It has been in the toilet. Okay, let's get back to where we were. Yes, I'm gonna share all those beautiful pictures with you on on my Discord. You're gonna love it. No mobster bandos. Oh, just you wait. Okay, well, you've got a few days left, before I get back to that. Okay, so where were we? We need to go to Ilmeg. That's right. So we were in, we ended up, I'm trying to remember where we left off. We ended up, the fattest chocobo, Vothri, started attacking Lakeland because he was trying to capture or recapture Minfilia, who Thancred had actually absconded with from their clutches and had been running around with. And so he started attacking because he was mad that we killed, not only that, but he was mad that we killed one of the Light Wardens, since he's got control over them. So now we actually have run to Ilmeg. Yes, we were drugged by the cocaine with the fairies. We have now run off to Ilmeg to hide here because they don't want to fuck with the fairies. It's like nobody wants to deal with the fucking fairies. So that's where we are now. God, it's so bright. Ugh. So bright. Alright. This way. I think Urian J is here. That's why we're here. We're trying to find him and the fairies. Well, amid the fairies. I think there is also a Light Warden here that we need to take care of too.
Hey, hon, open your Discord real quick.
My Discord? Oh no. Oh no, you guys. No! Nah, she was being bad. Look at her. She's on the tank. That bad Nashu. Bad Nashu. She's up on there at night, isn't she? I know she is. There's gonna be missing fish soon. Okay, anyways.
No, she's gonna be taking and that thinks she'll take a bath.
Yeah. She did. Okay. I'm trying my best to remember, but it feels like peering through fog. Okay. I was worried about the others back in Lakeland, but maybe I should be worried about us.
What?
So, it is fairies. As it stands, we cannot hope to find the way to Urian J. For that, we must convince the Pixies to lift the spell. From what I could make of the voices, the creatures want to play with us. If that is the case, they should permit us to find their village, Lita Loran. Come. I have a sneaking suspicion this path will lead us directly into their midst. Oh, and I should mention that Minfilia has been informed of our situation, of the different worlds and our mission. You may consider her an ally. All right. It is so bright. I just can't see anything. But look, there's an airship. There's a spaceship there. Well, here we are, yet the Pixies are nowhere to be seen. Knowing them, their games have already begun, in which case... Rislin, there is a variety of plant native to these parts with a distinctive furrowed tip. Looking grass is its name, so called because it can be used to spy Pixies, believe it or not. I'll explain how I know all of this later, but first I need you to help me find some. Oh, if a voice calls to you, under no circumstances should you respond. You will only be subject yourself to further mischief. Oh boy. Face scrub. Yay, I got tea now. Oh, but it's hot. You search the scrub but find nothing resembling looking grass. Suddenly a voice rings out. Greetings, mortals. What is your name? Well, I'm not supposed to say anything. But if I say anything, they cause mischief, right? Well, let's just tell my name. It's not gonna hurt. Rislin Hallis. Hallis Rislin. A wonderful name. Pretty like morning dew and funny like caterpillars. I shall slice it and splice it and make it mine. All mine. And when your name is mine, so are you. Your body begins to feel heavy. Oh no. Slow me down. I got a minute of this. Shit. Can I just mount? Oh no, my mount is slow. This is not good. Oh well. They are causing mischief. Thancred did warn me. The sense of disorientation is quite overwhelming. I cannot take a dozen steps without forgetting whence we came. Oh, Alphino got it too. You search the scrub but find nothing resembling looking grass. Suddenly a voice rings out. What is it that you seek, child? Perhaps I can help you find it. Well, I'm searching for looking grass. Yes, I know the plant, and being the kindly pixie that I am, I shall take you to it. Just close your eyes and focus on my voice. Set your mind adrift, and together we shall go to the ends of the realm. Your body begins to feel heavy. It's really heavy. I can't help it, okay? I can't help it. I have to. I have to. We'll sprint. Alright, fine. I won't answer this time. Searching the scrub, you find what appears to be looking grass. Suddenly, a voice rings out. Ooh, a visitor. Where are you from, pray tell? Oh, man. I really want to tell him the Crystarium. Come on. Can't I just say the Crystarium? I already found the Looking Grass. What is that? Where is that? When is that? In your dreams, perhaps? Forget about all that place, for Ilmeg is your home now, today and tomorrow and forevermore. You're fighting against the Philly. I can't help it, okay? I can't help it. It's alright. We got all this stuff we came here for. Oh my god, I can tell my voice is just horrible today. I hate it. I hate it. When am I going to stop being congested? Ugh. Although it's so much better than it was the other day. I could barely talk yesterday. I take it you met with some trouble. Apologies for subjecting you to that. Can I assume from your presence that you managed to find us some looking grass? Yes, this is the stuff. Thus armed, we should be able to see through the Pixies' veil of invisibility, and seeing them is the first step to dealing with them. Come, let us gather everyone and put Orianje's little trick to good use. Tired of tea with lemon, though. Really tired of it. Oh, yeah.
Farasitha, Krakleath.
No?
Wait! I recognize their souls! These two have been here before! Look! Look! Twins! How adorable!
Oh no.
Aww! Lay with us!
We have neither the time nor inclination to play. We have come to see Urianje.
Oh yes, Urianje, the peculiar one. In return for a place in Ilmeg, he agreed to a riddle contest with us for 7 days and 7 nights without any sleep.
Okay.
Oh, that was so much fun! We must do it again!
I'm sure he'd be delighted. Now, if you'd be so kind as to lift your spell.
Shall we?
Should we? Would we?
What now?
I don't know. But this is their home, so we must indulge them.
I like how they got Scottish voice actors to do all their voices.
Right, we've made up our minds. We will lift our spell on one condition, that you first lend us a helping hand. Or 2, or 3. Once you've helped solve all of our troubles, we'll let you see Urianje. Pixies honor.
Pixies have honor?
Well, there you have it. Pixie chores. I suggest we split up.
This is just, yeah. This is just, yeah. Man, chewy fur all over my keyboard again. Okay. Sulwin. Ooh, look at me, I have a task for you. Lindaran is our beloved village, and we want it to always look lovely. And it can't look lovely without flowers blooming. No flowers bloom lovelier than everblooms. So here are some everbloom seeds. Take them and sow them here, there, and everywhere around the village. Simple as a dimple, yes? Oh boy. Well, at least I'm not I'm not flying slow now. Alright, where I gotta do this? Where? Up here? Ah, here. Always chores. There's always chores. There's my fat chocobo. Helping us grow flowers, are you? They'll make this house look so much lovelier. There used to be a city of mortals here, a great big bustling place called Verbert, or Borvert, or some such, but the Sin Eaters came and everyone disappeared. Since then, we Pixies have been living here, and we've given the old houses our touch. Lovely, don't you think? Yes, this is Fat Chocobo. But he's not the fattest Chocobo. Just wait until you see that guy in action. Just wait, BB-san. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Ooh, I can't wait for the flowers to bloom. Perhaps I'll make pretty curtains out of them. You're done sowing the seeds. Thank you. This shall help Lita Wren live up to its name, which means flower house, in case you weren't aware. We weren't always here, you know. We used to live deep in a lush forest. It was beautiful beyond compare, but almost all of it was swallowed up by the light. For a while we roamed, but eventually we found a place that men had abandoned. Together with our fellow Fae folk, we decided to make it our new home. The land of everlasting spring. This is our home, and it could be yours too. Forever and ever and ever. No, I don't want to be here forever and ever and ever. In action. In action. Yes. Vothri can get into action. Somewhat. Alright, what are we doing here? Oh, more stuffs. Ugh, I'm so hungry I may faint. Fruit, little fruit will set me alright. Will you go and fetch some for me? Just outside the village you'll find a hillock. 2 great bell trees grow there. If you give them a shake, they should render up their sweet, succulent burdens. Alright, bell tree, you say? It's gonna be a while for that, though. We've got a lot. We've got this entire zone and the next zone. And then we gotta go back to the previous zones. Yeah, this is gonna be a while. A bug comes tumbling down with the fruit. You know what? You know what? Since I'm doing these all as DPS, I'm just gonna turn into my I'm just gonna go my Dark Knight. I kill stuff faster that way. Come on. You're unable to change classes at this time. Alright, pick this. Why? There we go. I can kill stuff faster this way. Well, maybe not that much faster. Because I do have all that gear on my other... But it's more interesting this way. Shit, this isn't even all that much faster. Alright, we're just gonna go back to my white mage. It's more boring, but it's actually, I think, a little bit faster because I have all the level 90 gear. Alright. So hungry. Did you get the fruit? Oh, thank you ever so much. You've saved me. Yes, saved me from my boredom. You should have seen the look on your face when the bugs came down. Ah, you've done me a great service, mortal. If there's one thing we pixies are serious about, it's having fun. Dull and painful things? Hate them. Sin eaters are dull and painful both, so we hate them especially. You mortals try to fight those monstrosities. There's no fun in that. Best to avoid them altogether, we say. Alright. Now what? Over here. I'm still, like, trying to break up what's in my chest, so I may have a cough here or there. Mortal, hear my plea. Oh, precious children are thirsty, and I need you to bring them water. Who are our children, you ask? Why, they're the leaf men you see standing about our village. Adorable, aren't they? Now you'll need to go to Longmere Lake to draw the water. Once you have it, see that our children have a good drenching. Oh, but be warned, the Fuath make their home in the lake. They tend to play rough, so have care. Alright. You know what sucks? You know what also sucks about being sick with this? I've lost my sense of taste. Just like with COVID, but it's not COVID. Because again, I got the test done. But I can't taste shit. It's like, we had Chinese food yesterday, and it just tasted like cardboard. It's sad. I can't taste anything. Oh, there we go. Alright. Leaf man. Okay. Tell you, I go over and help my aunt out, and then she gives me this. No good deed goes unpunished. Seriously, it doesn't. This guy has a sword in his hand. They have swords. You've given water to our children? Thank you ever so much. They're all very dear to us. They wandered into Ilmeg as stray mortals. We grew attached to them and decided to take them in. You and yours would have been our children too, but the enchantment didn't catch as well as we'd hoped. It's never too late, of course. Wait, these are actually people? No! They actually turned these people into plants. We fairies are very fond of mortals, and it's very sad when they leave, so we simply don't let them. They tried turning us into these, and it didn't catch. Oh no. And Thancred looks just how you feel. Just like how you feel. How goes it, Rislin? Ah, so a mix of menial tasks and pranks. Yes, that pretty much sums up my own experience. I have no troubles worthy of the name. How long are we supposed to keep at this? They're clearly playing with us. Indeed. Whenever I inquire how much more there is to be done, the answer is ever the same. A little. I doubt they have any intention of releasing us in the near future. Urian J once told me a story about the Pixies. They're born from the souls of those who died as children, or so it's believed. Though they don't have memories of their previous lives, desire to have fun remains imprinted on their souls. And so they live on, only to play, keeping hapless mortals for their pleasure for years on end, sometimes even until death. In the past, when I sought to identify the true nature of ghosts, I came upon literature examining a similar subject. Soul was likened to a core that resides in the ether, and its presence is what differentiates us from such beings as sprites and arcane entities. Upon death, said core ordinarily dissipates alongside the ether that composed the flesh. However, it may be held together and bound to the corporeal realm, either by the will of its owner or by means of certain arts. In time, the soul may regather ether unto itself to assume another form, or find newly emerged life in which to abide. The Pixies may be one such instance of this. If ghosts are merely souls without bodies, what does that make us? I think you've become that which you fear most, brother dearest. However the Pixies may have come into being, if we leave them to judge when they are satisfied, they will never be satisfied. Nay, we must negotiate new terms with the creatures. But where to begin? It seems to me we would need at least one among them to sympathize with us. In the course of your chores, did any of you encounter a pixie who seemed even faintly amenable to reason? Well, Fae'ul, I'm thinking. Maybe. But that's not during my chores. What? You knew a pixie from before? Not only are you acquainted, but you've entered into a pact? You might have mentioned this sooner. At any rate, I dare to hope this will offer us a way out. Without further delay, then, summon this Fae'ul, if you please. Oh boy. Say Fae'ul. Okay. What? I'm too far away. Where do I have to be? Over here? Oh, come on. There we go. A voice rings out in your mind. So, my sapling has finally remembered about our lovely branch. But with such a half-hearted call, she may as well lop me off and cast me aside. I have no sapling. Oh boy. Well, do I have to say it again? I have to say, I need you. I gotta type this all out. Shit, hold on. Please, Fae'ul, I need you. Is that your idea of a fervent call? A sodden log could do it with more fire. Oh my gosh. Now I gotta say... Oh, lovely is... Oh god. It's hard to see the writing here. Alright. Oh no. I'm spilling tea on my keyboard. Alright. Oh, no. Loveliest of branches, please grant me your succor. Uh-oh, now that's on the screen.
You're late! I've been waiting for you to summon me ever since you came here. Waiting and waiting and waiting. But my sapling didn't so much as utter my name. Such a heartless thing she is. Cold and cruel and heartless!
Just got a temper.
Another self-important little brat. Just what we need.
Reminds me of my childhood.
All right, I'm sorry. It was a joke. Honestly, just a joke.
Oh, Alphino, you shouldn't have said that.
Just now you called for me so earnestly, so fervently. I couldn't possibly stay angry at you. Very well. As your lovely branch, I will lend you my strength.
Yeah, rip. So look at
Well. If it isn't Theo, ooh, the mold feel. It's been too long.
Not long enough for you to think of any new games, though, apparently. If I were you, I'd be bored of myself. Now let me make something clear. That mortal is mine. No matter what you do, she will never be yours. Never, never, ever!
God, it's starting to scare me.
Oh, not even a bit. But what about the others? Surely we can keep them.
No, you can't keep them either. They're for my amusement and mine alone. And if you lay so much as a finger on my sapling, I'll scatter the contents of her bag. There'll be cold, hard metal, furry, festering food, stinky, sweaty small clothes, and all manner of other terrible, unmentionable things. How would you like that, hmm?
Yeah, and just when I was thinking, oh, maybe I can, you know, up the bit rate. Just when I think I can up the bit rate and it starts buffering again. Hold on. Let's do... see if that helps. I think it... I really think it's Twitch today. I really think that's what it is.
All right. But will you not at least let us play with the twins? Just while the others go and see Urianger?
Aye, that's all we ask. And we promise we'll play nicely.
It seems we won't be joining you.
Aye! We'll reveal the hidden Vernick to you at once.
Oh. Oh.
So this is the true Ilmeg.
How are you feeling?
Better. I think I remember the way now.
Apologies for the delay. Shall we go and see Urianger?
Your lovely branch is useful, yes? So whenever you're in trouble, you must remember to make use of me!
I don't know. He kind of scares me a little bit. Now look at this. Now that all of that haze is gone. This is like one of my favorite zones. It's so pretty. It is very pretty. Okay. Let's continue. Worry not. We shall be fine. Go on and find Urianger. Send Urianger my regards and tell him to live somewhere less annoying next time. Feo certainly has a way with the other pixies. For Alphino and Elisay's sake, let us be quick. It would be a shame to return only to find that they had been made to play one game too many. Now, the place we seek is the abandoned manor of a nobleman and scholar. The Bookman's Shelves, it's called, after the fellow's vast collection of tomes. An agreeable habitat for our friend, I'm sure you'll agree. If you'll follow me the path north, we should find the place. Come along. Alright. Why is this shit moving around? Stay put. Alright. Yes, and Urianger gets a makeover. We haven't seen him yet. Yes, or Pixies from Hell Meg. But, we haven't seen, hey, actually, this mount really fits with this zone. It does. Urianger, gets a makeover. He gets, yeah. He looks pretty okay. Except, I'm still pissed at him. I'm still pissed at him for the shit he did in fucking, Heaven's Word. Ugh. And here we are at long last. I give you Urianger's humble abode. Come, let us see if he's home.
Urianger, are you in? Unto a world weary of heroes, a hero wends her way. The Exarch did send word that thou wouldst seek me out, but ne'er did I imagine thou wouldst arrive so soon. Full glad am I to see thee once more, my friend, and none the worse for thy travails. Run along, Minfilia. We'll meet you outside.
But
You want Thinkred?
Another one for you to imbue, if you'd be so kind.
You know what? I'm about ready to smack his ass.
I take it thou hast met with our other comrades already? That Master Alphino and Mistress Alize now travel in thy company is of great comfort to me. As for the rest, it beginneth in earnest. The hunting of the Light Wardens, and perforce the war with Yulmore. Hark thee then to my words, and through them behold the vision that I did glimpse, that of the 8th Umbral Calamity. As I drifted hither to the first, traversing the boundary twixt reality and potentiality, I did bear witness to events yet to come. There I saw the combined forces of Eorzea and the Far East offering fierce resistance to the legions of Garlemald. So fierce, in fact, that they did begin to push the enemy back. Ilm by painful ilm at first, then Yalm by Yalm, and Malm by Malm in time. Yet the joy they felt was short-lived, for in so doing they did force the Empire's hand. Faced with defeat, the Garleans turned to a weapon most vile. Black Rose.
Uh-oh.
Its potency defied all reckoning. Once released, the gas took on a life of its own, wreaking untold carnage not only in Eorzea, but in the provinces of the Empire besides. From fighters upon the front lines to babes in their beds, none were spared. And as the casualties became too numerous to count, so did the fabric of civilization begin to unravel. Nor did the land itself escape unscathed. For spreading from the site of its release, Black Rose brought death to the very soil. To survive amidst the chaos and upheaval, men came to live by the sword, the rule of law giving way, inevitably, to the rule of might.
And he saw this all on his way over here?
Thus was the spark struck and the fire kindled, and swiftly did it spread as a blaze in a field of straw to engulf every corner of the world. Nations worthy of the name did then cease to exist. And those souls brave and true who might have risen to restore order
Yes, rip everything. Seriously. No! Not Tataru. Not Cryo! No! Alright, they better not show. They better not show Emmerich, or that's it. We're done. We're done. Who dat? Oh. Is that Thancred? That's me!
were no more. For the weapon spared not one, not even thee.
I died? Oh shit. That's not good.
An endless age of war, begotten by the blight of Black Rose. Such is the legacy of the 8th umbral calamity which I did behold. No matter the cost, we must forestall this tragedy. To that end, I have labored during my sojourn in this world, discovering in so doing the answer to a pressing mystery.
Really?
That of Black Rose's inexplicable potency.
What?
Come.
No, he was not added to Edition Eaton.
Dost thou recognize yonder chart?
Kinda. It's something to do with magic. No, it's a chart of the elements.
Indeed. 'Tis a rendering of the elemental wheel, such as one might find in classrooms across the source. As the chart maketh plain, our world is composed of 6 elements, in addition to which there exist 2 poles in fundamental opposition. Astral, the active. Umbral, the passive. As a reflection of the source, the first naturally compriseth the selfsame forces. Yet, curiously, there is a notable divergence in their nomenclature. To be specific, the denizens of this world employ not the terms astral and umbral. Thus was I moved to inquire what names said forces had been assigned. A simple question which yielded a most unexpected answer. Upon demanding the name of the pole aligned with activity and growth, I was told that as life's myriad colors combine to produce black, the people of the first had called it darkness. At this, did my mind begin to race. It was only when I asked what name had been given to the pole aligned with passivity that mine eyes were opened to the truth. Peace and tranquility being as purest white, unmarred by color, I was told it had been given the name of light.
Okay.
That's umbral light and astral darkness, yes? I'm no etherologist, but it strikes me that the nomenclature of the first is rooted in the generation of the 2 forces, while our own appears to focus on their effects. Which makes one wonder, have we had it backwards all this time?
'Tis indeed a compelling question, and one which beareth closer examination. Yet what knowledge we already possess sufficeth to explain the chain of events. The phenomenon of etheric thinning observed in the source is the consequence of light, the power of stasis, flowing in from the first to stifle the movement of ether within the land. And according to Master Alphino, Black Rose slayeth by halting the circulation of ether within living beings.
Gasp.
Should such a weapon be unleashed even as the first were rejoined, replete as it is with light,
we would have a disaster of untold proportions on our hands. A calamity. Well, at least we have a better grasp of what we're facing. Our objective, however, remains unchanged. We are to eliminate the Light Warden of Ilneg. Speaking of which, were you able to ascertain its whereabouts?
Aye. 'Tis all but certainly ensconced within Leagia, the castle which standeth in the midst of the lake. To enter said stronghold, we must needs turn to the Pixies for aid. Fortunately, I have become quite adept at courting their cooperation. Henceforth shall I accompany you, and do all in my power to ensure that my vision doth not come to pass.
I'm dying. Oh. I had to hold that cough in until he was done talking. Ugh. Okay. Now what? It will be much bolstered for Urianje's company. My friend, ere I speak of the task at hand, there is a question I would pose to thee. What thinkest thou of mine appearance? He's like, what do you think of my new dress? Well, let's see. Did you lose weight? I didn't recognize you at first. Did you take up astrology? Indeed. Though the night be lost behind the shroud of blinding light, doubt not but that the stars shine still. I have chosen to avail myself of their guidance, that I might navigate the sea of uncertainty that stretcheth before us. For a blessing, my prior studies of astrology did provide me with adequate grounding in the art. But enough of myself. Let us now speak of our task. As I did mention, if we are to enter Leagia, we must needs gain the Pixies' cooperation. This is a simple matter of presenting unto them a suitable gift. I shall procure a selection of viands that shall please their palates. Thancred and pray assist me in this endeavor. Meanwhile, Rislin, I bid thee obtain that which will please their eyes. In these parts there abideth a vilekin known for its beauteous wings, the hawker. I shall lend thee a receptacle within which thou mayest capture a weakened specimen. How are these words coming out of my mouth so easily? Normally I'm stumbling over shit, but like I can read Urianje's like lines without any problems. There's no avoiding chores, is there? Far better under Urianje than the Pixies, of course. Thou shouldst find a hawker nearby. Pray use the receptacle I have lent thee to capture a weakened specimen. Alright, yeah. Where is this hawker? Can I get out of here? There we go. Is that viands? I guess. I don't know what the fuck a viand is, but, you know. Nectar-filled flower. Maybe this is it. Too far. Oh, this is part of that. Never mind. Kill this hawker. Though I do have to say, since I started streaming, my enunciation has gotten way better. I used to be way more mushmouth than I am now. So there's at least some good things to it. Use Charlie and Boxic. What? Oh, I have to capture them. God dang it. You might actually have to read. I have to actually read these quests. Damn it. Alright, fine. I know. Look, I'm just miserable. I'm miserable right now. I could certainly use another tea, but actually, you know what I could use? I could use a cookie, because oddly enough, and this is crazy, I can't taste very much, but I can taste sweets, which is crazy. Because when I suspected, way back in the beginning of COVID, when I suspected that I actually had COVID that first week, I remember for a while, a few weeks after it, I was craving sweets because I felt it was like the only thing I could really taste. It was, and so I feel like that again, which makes sense because I have a coronavirus, not COVID-19, but you would imagine that some of the symptoms and characteristics are shared. So, just sucks. It sucks. I'll go get some cookies in a little bit. It just makes me so mad because I was so good, you guys. I was so good. I hadn't gotten sick in at least 2 years. I haven't had a head cold like this in years. How do I get in here? And then my aunt's like, come over and help me do all this shit. And I get there and she's fucking coughing all over me. I mean, literally, I felt the fucking spittle on me. I'm sorry to gross anybody out, but I was feeling it. And then she gets me so super fucking sick. And then I go home and I get sick and she's like, oh my god. So I go and get all these tests done. She doesn't get these tests done and we have to narrow it down because I get all this shit done. And then she's like, oh, sorry. I guess we're not going to get together for a party on this weekend. No, we're not fucking getting together for a party because I feel like shit. So anyway, sorry. I had to get that out. It's been 4 days of misery. I had to get all of this pent up anger and frustration out of me. All right, let's continue. Thankfully, the husband doesn't seem to be getting sick, so that's good, because he don't want this. It's horrible. Alright. Thou art returned. Wert thou able to capture a hawker? Ah, truly a magnificent set of wings. I shall treat them at once to make fast their vibrant colors. Thancred too shall return anon, upon which I shall ready all the items for presentation. Pray take thine ease meanwhile. Hopefully I don't have to do another one for a while because she finally figured out how to balance her own checkbook.
"'Tis done. The Pixies shall be well pleased with these gifts. Ah, lest I forget.
Auracite.
White auracite, newly forged for thy use. Our mission being to thwart a rejoining, we will most assuredly cross paths with those who crave the contrary, our eternal enemies. Thus did I choose to abide in this ether-rich land, the better to fashion a trap for the Ascian's essence.
Yes, Butians.
May I come in now?
You may indeed, assuming you've finished.
You know, why is Thancred being such a dick?
I did as you asked.
That's my girl, thank you. I should probably explain. Though my body remained behind in the source, its limitations saw fit to accompany me. Which is to say, I cannot manipulate ether. I took up the gunblade for its defensive advantages, but on account of my little impairment, I cannot imbue the ammunition myself. Luckily for me, Minfilia has quite a talent for it.
Minfilia, once we set forth, we are not like to return for some while. If thou wouldst choose tomes to take with thee, let it be now.
Really? May I?
Of course, my dear. Yet have care thou dost not add overmuch to thy burden, lest I incur Thancred's ire. Hast thou spoken to her of thine encounter with the Minfilia of Eld?
Well, I suppose now is as good a time as any. As you know, I freed young Minfilia from captivity in Yulmore some 3 years past. Not long after, the two of us journeyed to the south of Armareng, to the edge of the Empty, where the flood was halted. It was there that she awakened. The Minfilia of old. My Minfilia.
Uh-oh.
Tell me, what must I do to bring you back?
My dearest Thancred, as I am now, I am no different from an Ascian. This child is but a vessel. One of many I have used that I might spread word of her enduring blessing and preserve the flame of hope. In my name, each has died, never having lived her own life. I have taken enough from these children. I will take no more.
But what of your suffering? Your sacrifice? This isn't fair! I won't stand for it. I cannot. There must be something we can do. Tell me!
Should the day come when this child grows weary of fighting and wishes to cast it all aside, then shall I take up her burden. But should she wish instead to become the master of her own destiny, then shall I bequeath to her my all. Imbued with the strength that I reserve for rebirth, she may come to wield my powers as her own.
And what of my wishes? What of Flamine's? What of all the people who love and care for you and want nothing more than to see you again?
It is not their decision to make. It is hers. This child's. This Minfilia's. You have ever watched over me, Thancred.
So... Oh, God.
Now I ask that you do the same for her. Protect her. Teach her. Stand by her as you stood by me. There is much and more she does not know. She needs a guide to show her the ways of the world, or she will never find her own path. When the time comes, you will find me here. Until that day.
Minfilia, wait!
What happened?
And then she was gone. Minfilia, the girl, claims to have no recollection of any of it. I have told her many things. Where we came from, what we fight for. But of that day, I have not spoken.
Well, I know how he wants it to end. He doesn't care. He just wants his Minfilia back. But he has to let her go. I mean, her sacrifice actually would mean less if she came back. It means more that she gave it up, all of it up. But whatever. Fucking Thancred. Oy.
With the coming of another possessed of the blessing of light, the first hath begun to rise up in defiance of its fate. The question remaineth, however, who shall take up the flame of hope which Minfilia hath borne for so long? Whether we will it or no, the choice must soon be made.
Well, that is Minfilia's choice, not Thancred's.
I'm sorry I took so long. It was so hard to choose. In the end, I settled on just the one.
That is well. Now, if all is in order, let us set forth for Lida Loran.
Why? And my eyes are burning. No, I'm not crying. They're burning from the virus. Ugh. I'm almost out of tea. No, they are burning from being sick. Alright, so what are we doing? Ugh. I hate it. But at least Chewie's doing better. He's like 100% Chewie butt again. He is a complete butt again. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yes, he is. He's his normal butt. And Nashu has been getting real, like every couple days she like opens up more. Like we've had her for what, like a month now, and it's like every week she's a new cat. And I remember when we were looking at her at the shelter, and they're like, "Oh, she's really shy. We don't know, I'm not, so they are like, she's really shy. She doesn't really want like people." And like to see her then and now, a completely different cat. All right. I dare not ask what happened in our absence. When you have a moment, be sure to show your appreciation to the twins. They've endured a great deal on our behalf. You couldn't have returned at a better time. Pixies had just decided that it would be amusing to have Alice and I exchange outfits. Oh my god. Thank the gods you arrived in time. Any later, and I don't think I would have been able to live it down. That would have been hilarious. As much Much as I should like to savor the reunion with Master Alphino and Mistress Alice, it must wait. I have taken the liberty of presenting our gifts unto the Pixies. Let us see how well they are received. We weren't expecting you all back so soon. Or we weren't. We had scarcely begun playing with the twins. That said, your gifts are truly wonderful. Let me tell you, the milk and honey and biscuits won't last a day, and the wings are the loveliest we've ever seen. You've done us a great kindness, and it's Fae custom to return the gesture. If you desire anything of us, you need but name it. Oh boy. The key to the castle. So, what is it that you desire? Rusty old coins that, like you mortals, are wont to collect, perhaps? We are resolved to vanquish the Light Warden of this land. To that end, we desire entry to Liagia. What a strange thing to wish for. You might as well ask for your death. But if that is what you want, who are we to argue? Very well, I shall speak with the others. You've clearly been busy, Urianger. Would you be so kind as to tell us what we've missed? So that was the purpose of the gifts. Is there anything you can tell us about this Light Warden? Aye, my lady. By circumstances most tragic, the Light Warden of this land is our king and ruler to Titania. Oh, it was her. It was not always so, of course. Our king fought the first Light Warden that threatened our home, you see. Fought it and won. But all the horrible light that came out and went and corrupted them, turning them into a new Light Warden. Now they're king only in name, not remains of the wise and just ruler that used to be. We had no choice but to seal them in the castle. The magic for breaking the seal be divided into 4, and wove each into a different relic, to be kept apart until the time was right. And this dress is one of them. It's been in our safekeeping for years and years, but we've decided to entrust it to you. Are you sure? Of course, custom demands it. Though you're most certainly going to your deaths, we thought we should at least let you try. That way we get to watch what happens. Of course, you can't break the seal unless you have the other relics too. The shell crown is with the Fuath, the stone scepter is with the Numo, and the crystal shoes are with the Amaro. Good luck finding them all. The facts thus disclosed confirm mine own understanding. Our quest lieth now before us. First, let us hie to the lake, there to claim the shell crown from the Fuath. If we call to them before the untouchable gate, they will answer. I guess we're doing a dungeon soon. Let's see what this is. Don Meg. Oh yes. We're doing the dungeon. Was taught never to talk to the Fuath under any circumstances. Are you sure this is a good idea? During our sojourns in Ilmeg, we avoided the lake at all costs. Let that suffice to warn you of its dangers. Through the gate lieth the domain of the Fuath. A lot of leafmen. There are a lot of leafmen around here. was about to say the Fwath couldn't be any more unreasonable than the Pixies, but that's just asking for trouble. Hearken to me, O spirits of the water. We are come with an entreaty. Not a talkative mood. Not in a talkative mood, apparently. I'm not exactly sure how the gate works. But if the Fwath are water spirits, perhaps we should take our search into the lake. Oh, I suppose a brief dip wouldn't hurt. Oh, that's right. Alphino can't swim. Y'all know Thancred swims like an eel, but what about you, Minfilia? I can swim well enough. Thancred taught me. Excellent. What about you, Ariane? I'm not sure I've ever asked. Rather than swim, mayhap it would be more expeditious to walk upon the surface by means of magic. He's scared too. You too, Ariane? That would be... that you should be a kindred spirit. Worry not, my friend. I know some helpful tricks, and I should be more than happy to share them with you. Together we shall conquer the waves. Well, well, aren't we a lively lot? And you have an entreaty for us, you say. An entreaty from mortals. What a treat. I, my comrades and I are on a quest to vanquish the Light Warden. To that end, we would humbly beg the loan of the Shell Crown, which we are given to understand is in the safekeeping of your people. Oh, is that all? Of course, of course. You may have it, you shall have it. Just like that. What do you want from us? Oh ho ho! No need to be so suspicious. The crown simply doesn't mean much to us, is all. As a matter of fact, nothing means much to us, for we, Fwath, it's over before it's begun, and we couldn't care less what becomes of the Fairy King, nor the world for that matter. Having said that, we do so seldom have mortal visitors, and it would seem a shame not to have to make the most of you. Touch the untouchable gate, and come hither to our domain, Don Meg. In your tongue it means forbidden realm. Sounds forbidding, yes? And so it should, for we are one with the water, our home wrought of ripples and waves and currents. Find your way through. Give us thrilling sport, and we will give you the crown. Well, here we go. Alright, so I'm gonna go as a tank. I'm just gonna go as a tank if we're doing this with the... So it says here, use a duty finder. Form party. So, alright. Let's go. Yes. I like how this song sounds like the Nutcracker Suite. It has that sound to it. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Somebody made a nasty shit. I gotta cover this up. Hold on. Oh my god. Chewie, was that you? Oh. Yes. Woo! Where is this? I gotta like this. Where's the, Alright, well, I'm just gonna have to get a match. This guy has to
It's
get
next to my
matched.
computer.
I don't know where you put it.
Next to my computer.
Oh man, I think that was true. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, you guys don't even know. When that I feed them regular food. Holy shit. That was whew, still sticking in here, but I had to light the candle. Oh my god. Alright, hopefully that I guess I'm like I know I'm sick and I can't really smell, but I fucking smell bad. Okay, let's go. So Alice's like, oh, they do talk. So Mephilia's like, it's like being in a dream. And Ariange's like, yet the dangers of this dream are very real. Be not distracted by its beauty. So they do say they do say unique things when they're in here, so. I like this. The Dunfest Floth is like, water is love, water is life. Drink up, ye parched souls. This is gonna take a little bit longer just because I'm doing it. I'm not doing it with an actual player party. And so, like, they don't AoE, so it's basically just they're soloing that, like, one at a time. But then again, we do it this way, then it feels, you know, you're running with the characters, the Scions. So it feels a little more, like, in story. And there are certain stories, especially in, or a certain of the dungeons, especially in Endwalker, that you want to do in the trusts, because you get certain dialogue with the characters that is very interesting. Alice says, like a fluff, and it's watering the plants. Minophilia, oh my, did you see the flowers?
Together we shall overcome this.
You have to finish the dungeon in that amount of time, or you fail it. And I have never actually come up against a timer to fail anything, except for a trial in Endwalker, in which we were working on it for almost an hour and a half, and then we couldn't do it in time. We're like, all right, well, guess this ain't happening. Dark, scary progress bar. What progress bar do you mean? The one at top? That's just their health bar of the guy I'm targeting. Number. Like right up here? That's the health bar. Ariane, you better start healing my ass. Stop it. Oh, this? Oh, this is my,
I'll show you.
This is, what do you call it? It's for my Death Knight. I have to build up, like, resources to use certain abilities, and this is what it is. That's the bar for it. I don't remember what the name of the bar is, but... I hate this. And I got thrown up. I feel like I kill these guys so much, like, the bosses go so much faster than the trash. Yes, I made it through the whole thing without, I made it through the whole thing without getting tossed up.
You underestimate me.
I shall protect you.
Why?
Here we go.
Ouch. Ow. Oh, no. Bravo, bravo. Very impressive. And off it goes. It seems we must do more to earn the crown. So off way. Here we go this way. Zarian, they say. Would seem our trials do continue. And then the Don Fest walk says, onward, my friends, onward to your prize. Oh dear, I seem to have dropped a wasp's nest. How very clumsy of me. Yeah, he's like, a wasp nest? Really? Yeah, these guys are totally just fucking with us. I'm starting to get hungry again. I guess that means I'm, like, getting better. But it's like, I don't know what I want for dinner because I can't taste anything. So it's like, ugh. My apologies, but accidents do happen. The spiciest of foods? Maybe that would open up my sinuses. I don't know if I have any spicy food though. I just gotta start beating up this guy. Ugh. Fortunately, I can't do the trials. The trials in
You underestimate me.
Ah shit, of course I hit my freaking thing. I can't do the trials in Trust, so at least not until Endwalker. But to be honest, I don't want to do Trials and Trust because they're more fun in groups. Yeah, they're more fun in groups of people.
I shall protect thee.
For fuck's sake, Ariane, get the heels off.
You underestimate me.
Like, the first trial in Endwalker is like, it's actually kind of crazy. You're not gonna expect it at all. You are not gonna expect it. You're gonna be like, what? This is like an end boss. No. Alright. Come on. Okay. Ugh. Just stop. I don't want to be sick anymore. Oh yeah, and there's Alice A. As soon as limit break up, she's fucking doing limit break.
I'll show you.
Oh, I forgot I got this thing. Even though I like this battle theme, I think the mid-boss battle theme from Endwalker is like my favorite. It's so good. It's so good, you guys. It's just so good. Oh, can you guys just, like, kill this thing already? I feel like I'm just carrying this group.
I'll show you.
I'm not even that good. Like, this beast falleth short of the legend. Urianje's not impressed. Imitation will only take you so far, Minfilia. A palace of water. It's like something out of a fairy tale. Welcome, welcome to our humble palace. That way, the crown's that way. This is very suspicious. The crown, we found it. Ah, it's fake. You'll just have to keep going. It is a trap. Let's see if we can get another one. Come on, get over here. There we go. Alright. So hopefully Ariadne can keep me up through this. It kind of does look like Ursula a little bit, doesn't it? But it is a naiad.
You underestimate me.
I like how Ariadne's just like totally like just like getting into it. Super. He's just killing this one little thing and he's like, I'm gonna save you. God. God, she's so dramatic.
You underestimate me.
Okay. What? Come on. Let me open up this box. Fae Milprees. Okay. Finally, last boss. I'm gonna need another cup of tea after this. Lake Lord Inkthon. That's a nice illusion, but you can't fool us. Alright, well.
I shall protect thee.
Oops, that one. Okay. And fun time. You gotta walk over this thing. Oh no! Don't fall! Shit! Well, I fell. Elsie's running. Why am I sitting? Come on, let's go. Wait! RNG just fucking jumped over there? He just fucking jumped.
Together we shall overcome this.
I like how Minfilia is just like scared. She's walking over real scared. Look at her! Oh my god. She's like being really, really careful. Oh, they did it. They didn't even need me. They didn't even need me. Oh, he is pretty. Talk about pretty, huh? Cat, no, not you, stop. Oh no, Orianchi's about to die! Don't die! Shit! What is he doing? His health got so low. Oops. Wrong one. Oh boy. About time. I'm just blowing all of my mana just to get this guy down at the end there. Yes, yes, we're done. We did it. And then Thancred comes running in from behind. Ugh. Getting the congestion is killing me. Alright, what we got? Here. What is this? Oh, it's for the housing. Okay. Got it. Hopefully they're voice acting. I need another tea. Help clear up my sinuses a little. Ooh.
Wilford! Wilford!
Jolly good show.
Oh, you do not hold back. But I would have it no other way. Seldom have I enjoyed such sport.
We have satisfied thy demands. Wilt thou now satisfy ours?
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, our frog
There
goes.
it is, the relic you seek. Yours for the taking. Have care you do not break it, though, yes.
I don't trust this dude. I don't trust him.
Ah, but you, my friend, you are mighty indeed, and pleasing to the eye besides.
What? Is he hitting on me?
More! I want to see more of her!
Yes, yes, I could watch her forever.
Why don't we just make her one of us? Yes! One of us!
One of us! One of us! One of us! One of us! One of us! One of us! One of us! One of us! One of us!
What a fine idea! Why ever didn't I think of that? You may have the crown, but in exchange, we will have you!
Uh-oh.
Wake up! Wake up, damn you!
Ardbert?
Ah, you're alive. Thank the gods. I don't know where you learned to breathe underwater, but it's lucky you can. I'm sure you had your reasons. But the first rule of dealing with the Froth is do not deal with the Froth. It's said that they are born from the souls of the drowned. Were it not for your little trick, you'd have joined them. Your friends are safely back on dry land, in case you were wondering. They'll be searching for you, I expect.
I don't know. I think that Ardbert guy is pretty nice. He's pretty swell. He's alright. Yeah. He's pretty alright.
That's the royal capital of the Kingdom of Verber down there. seen better days. They were a stubborn lot, the Verbatites, set in their ways. But once you got to know them, you couldn't find a more welcoming people. It always froze over in winter, being up in the mountains. So we'd pull up our chairs round the fire and trade tales over steaming bowls of lamb stew, while the street lamps burned hot and bright outside. All dead and buried now. Them and anyone else who might remember. Everything we did. Everything we gave. What was it for? I wonder... I hope you'll have a better answer than this when all's said and done.
No, that's Ishgard. No, not Emmeline, whatever his name is. It was Papa Fortop. I like how when I think back at home, think back of home, I think back to Ishgard. I love that. It makes me really, really do feel like that's where the Warrior of Light feels like her home is. Not just Eorzea, but Ishgard in particular. No, he's not in the lamb stew. No, stop it. Okay, give me a minute now. I'm gonna go get another cup of tea started. I really need it. I can feel like the drainage coming, you know, just going crazy in my head, and I need the hot tea to help clear some of that up. So let me get that started. All right. Back to it. Because there's ain't no way I'm taking the next trial myself. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna heal it. Oh God, I can't breathe. All right. Whew. Whew. I'm going back in. Nay, my lady, exhausted as thou art, thou wouldst only endanger thyself. I prithee, rest a moment. There was nothing where we looked. Ristlin! Dear gods, were it not for Sorabad's blessing. But I need not labor the point. I am glad to see you safe and well, my friend. Have you any idea how worried we were? To wash up on the shore only to find you weren't with us. Oh, but I'm forgetting. Here's your crown, your majesty. The Floth kept that part of the bargain, at least. Well, there were certain twists and turns. Our work here is done, with everyone none the worse for wetness. Oh God, hold on. I gotta go blow my nose. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's getting really, really bad. Oh, thank goodness you're here. So, Lumen, is something amiss? A great big mob of mortals is marching to El Mag. Mortals with ugly weapons and uglier faces. They wouldn't happen to be your friends, would they? Rather the reverse, I fear. The Umoran army, at a guess. Meaning we can play with them? As much as you like. But just to be sure, I will return with you to confirm their identities. If they are who we suspect, we will require your aid. If Alfredo was coming, then Alisaie will too, yes? Can't have one without the other, you know. All right. Just remember, we're not your playmates this time. Oh my god, this is killing me. I'm afraid we must leave the rest of the relic hunt in your hands. Well, don't worry, I've done this sort of thing before. Or it's fine, defeating the Light Warden would always have fallen to me. Yes, yes. It would have. Perhaps, but I would feel better if we were there to assist you. Back to cheering you on from afar. See you afterwards, my friend. I think we gotta do a few more things before we get to, oh yeah, we got a bunch of quests before we do the trial. So right now we're at visit to Numo. Alright. Well, I'll try to push to get us through the trial today. We'll see. We'll see. With our enemies fast approaching, time is of the essence. We must needs accomplish our mission with all possible haste. Of the two remaining bearers of the relics, the Numo are the nearer. We shall seek them out next. Among the Fae folk, they bear the distinction of having abided in these lands since before the flood. They are also the friendliest to men, and have served me faithfully whensoever I have called upon them. Indeed, they are the source of much of the knowledge I have acquired in my time here. The path leadeth past my dwellings. Let us away. Let us away. Alright. There we go. All the way over here. Past yonder cliff lieth Plot Any, home of the Numo. The others have gone ahead to scout the way. Come, let us follow. Oh, good. Another time to eat. More time to eat my cookie. These monsters are kind of ugly. No enmity. If the path striketh thee as precipitous, 'tis because it was once a mountain trail. For where the lake now lieth, there was a valley, in whose midst thrived the city of Verbert. 'Twas only when the Fueth came, in the wake of the flood, that the settlement was drowned. We stand now upon its former outskirts, grazing lands where shepherds once tended their flocks. Though one cannot help but feel a pang of loss when faced with such a spectacle, one can scarcely blame the Fae folk for so altering the land. The blame for that lieth rightly with the light, a force terrible enough to bring an entire civilization to its knees, an entire world. That it should have been allowed to rise up unchecked is the greatest regret. Yet in spite of all the tragedy which surroundeth me, full glad am I for the chance to be here. It was these hands which brought together the warriors of darkness and Minfilia, lest thou forget. No, I don't forget, and I'm still pissed about it. Therefore, even were there no eighth umbral calamity to forestall, it seemeth only right that I strive to deliver the first from its doom. Only right, I say, though such words ill convey the strength of my resolve. In truth, I can no more ignore the plight of this world than I can choose to stop breathing. And thus do I labor for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. The coming struggle promiseth to test us to our limits. But so long as we stand together, I doubt not but that we shall prevail. Aha! Mortals, just as we thought. Hast thou business with us? Business? Ha! Nothing so boring. We smelled you coming and thought we'd come to play. They do not appear to be Pixies of Lita and Moran. Mine apologies, but we are in some haste. Mayhap another day. Oh, in some haste are you? Then allow me to hasten you on your way. Tee-hee-hee. Where did they send us now? Oh my god. He looks frustrated. Teleportation magic. For a mercy, we were not sent far from our course. Should the Pixies find us again, however, they will most assuredly repeat the trick. We have not the time to waste. Let us avail ourselves of an enchantment I have learned. Fey Cloak, 'tis called, a most ingenious magic which rendereth one invisible to fey folk, albeit briefly. Uh-oh. I think I gotta... What do we gotta do? Speak with Urianger. I shall cast the enchantment upon thee. Under its aegis, thou art to make thy way past the Pixies and rejoin our comrades. Know, however, that the enchantment shall suffice to veil thee and thee alone. Be not tempted to employ a mount, as it will only serve to give thy presence away. Alright, so head to the destination under the effect of the Fey Cloak. Oh, we got a minute. Alright, let's go. We send them flying, teehee. Oh, we should make it in time. I think we got like 2 minutes. Ah, there we go. There we go. Got cookie crumbs on my desk I'm gonna get rid of. Alright. I think I can fly again. We lost sight of you. Is everything alright? I assumed you were right behind us. What took you so long? I see. Yes, I'd say that's a valid excuse for lateness. You are hereby forgiven. In other good news, the new Mo village lies just through here. We'll enter as soon as Urianger deigns to join us. Ooh, mushrooms. Mortals! Mortals are here! Lots of them! Oh boy. Guess they don't like mortals. I thought you said the new Mo were men's best friends. Poor thing was beside itself with fear. 'Twas beside itself, perhaps, but not with fear. This is unacceptable! Unacceptable, I tell you! To have so many mortals appear at once! It's more excitement than we can bear! Greetings, Elder Wid Enk Tierney. It hath been a while. Pray forgive my brevity, but time is against us. We are come to borrow the stone scepter of the Numo. The stone scepter? Then you mean to lift the seal over Liagia? Ah, that is unacceptable! Unacceptable, I tell you! If the king is set free, none here will be safe. Unlike our Fae cousins, we Numo have called this land our home since time immemorial. Leaving is unthinkable. Thus did full many of us lay down our lives to steal away our king when they were corrupted by light. If we do as you ask, our sacrifice would have been in vain. Well, just hand over the gun. No, I'm not gonna be mean. I kind of want to be mean, but I'm not gonna be mean. Don't worry, we'll defeat Titania. But then you'll only become another Light Warden. It changes nothing. Honored Elder, pray believe me when I say that this woman is possessed not only of the strength required to vanquish the king, but of something still more valuable, a means to resist the resultant corruption. Indeed, she hath already laid low the White Light Warden of Lakeland, all without succumbing to the influence of its light. She is yet a stranger into this land, 'tis true, but she harboureth the self-same desire to see the sin-eaters eliminated as we do. Wilt thou not lend us thy hand, that we might see thy beloved home restored to its former glory? You have always done right by us, Urianger. If you have placed your wisdom in this woman, then so shall we. As you say, we want nothing more than to be rid of the sin-eaters. Be that as it may, this is not a decision to be made lightly. We require time to deliberate. A turn of the moon, perhaps. We don't have a turn of the moon, unless we want to debate this with the Yulmoran army. Elder, given all that is at stake, I cannot well expect thee simply to roll over and acquiesce to our request. I like how roll over is in italics. But even now a powerful foe draweth near, and I fear I must beseech thee to hasten thy deliberations, that thou mightest fetch us the scepter while there is yet time to use it. Roll over? Fetch! Ah! Ah! You know full well that naught gives us greater pleasure than to render aid to men. You know full well, yet you speak the words of power regardless. It's unfair, unfair, I tell you. Victor Dagos. In happier times, it was our honor to assist mortals in need and receive rewards befitting our deeds. Since the kingdom of Verbert fell, however, we've been starved of man's patronage. After so many years of deprivation, it is difficult to ignore such an earnest entreaty. Very well, Urianger. I promise to give you as swift an answer as I may. In return, I ask that you and yours remain here the while and bestow upon us your patronage. Is this arrangement agreeable? More chores. That's what this is, more chores. Oh. Yep, I'm getting to the point where I got my nose is gonna start running. Oh my god, this sucks. You will offer your patronage to our people too, yes? Let's see. Perhaps you can begin with Marn As. They are one of our foremost artisans, once held in the highest esteem by the Knights of Obert. With the knights gone, however, Marn As has had no opportunity to put their skills to use. They would be overjoyed for your patronage. I need to pet the doggos? You want me to pet the doggos? Though the Numo may appear placid and amicable, be fairly warned that they live by uncompromising codes. Code such as that which saith, the payment must precisely befit the service, be it an item or a task. Have care thou givest neither more nor less than what is requested. Marn As. 1,182, 1,183, 1,184. Wait, did I already count that leaf? Wah! What? Wait, you're a mortal? Huzzah! Huzzah! Well met! Yes, very well met indeed. Have you old and tired arms and armor that are threatening to fall apart at critical junctures in battle? If you answered yes, you've come to the right Numo. I will restore your equipment to pristine condition for a payment of a pair of moss fungus legs. Moss fungi roam just outside the cave. Please, please, please give their legs and your patronage to me. Fine, fine. Go kill some fungi. Oops. How do I get out of here? This way? That's what I get for trying to get out of here while I'm trying to drink my tea. Alright, so I gotta kill these guys. Moss fungus. He did a frog kick on me. Alright, I think I got the legs that I need. Now I gotta go back. Alright. Ah, you are returned, and with the moss fungus legs, I hope. They are tools of my trade, lest you wonder, used to polish metal and leather alike to a lustrous sheen. Now that I have work again, I must replenish my stores. 2? Yeah, I'll give them 2. I don't have 3. Huzzah! Oh, 2 moss fungus legs as befits the work. Ah, to have neither more nor less expected of us than what we can provide. There is no greater joy. You see, for there to be honor in a task, we must perceive precisely what it is worth. Too little means you belittle our ability. Too much means you question our integrity. You've given me fitting payment, so my services are at your disposal. I shall begin by inspecting your equipment. I see. Though I must ask for a small fee for the materials, I'm pleased to say that all your arms and armor may be restored, if you mean to change them. In the near future, however, there's no need to hurry. My first repair is complimentary. Here's the coin which you may pay me with when you desire to have the work done. Many thanks for your patronage. Hold on a second. He's giving me the money that I'm going to use to pay him for the work he's doing to my stuff? Okay, I guess. Marn's shop is open for business. Oh, if you mean to offer your patronage to another, may I suggest XIV yonder? Judging from your equipment, 'tis plain you're no stranger to battle. I believe XIV will have something to offer you. Ah, to have so many men visit us at once. This is a joyous date indeed. If it please you, please give me your patronage. As my patron, I ask that you remove the noxious mushrooms that grow in our cave. Flame spores, they're called. We would tend to them with magics, except they leave behind a harmful ash. We have no choice but to pluck them one at a time. Now, if you will be curious as to what I have to offer, I am a purveyor of wares that will aid you in your travels. In exchange for your fitting payment, I will give you my choicest items. Ugh, so many chores. Can't we just get to Titania yet? Ugh. Where is this? Up here? It says up. No. Down. Down. Where is... Oh, it's in this house? No, I can't get in that house. Up here? I don't know where these are. Come on. Oh, here's some flame spores. Yeah, but there's some over here and I can't find them. Ah, here we go. They're up here. Alright, just get off your mount. Alright. Yes, yes. You've already removed the flame spores. How very quick you are. Oh, but did you perchance search the western entrance as well? I'm told that more have cropped up in that area. More flame spores. Or we're on Spore Sweeper? Spore Sweeper. Oh my god, we got so many more quests to do before this. Alright. As you pluck the last of the flame spores, you sense a gaze from the entrance. The entrance? Oh, Minfilia. I wasn't spying on you or anything. I just finished my task and... I should go and report back. Minfilia, are you okay? Do I need to slap around Thancred for you a little bit? Yeah, I think I might need to slap around Thancred. That should be easy. I mean, I am the warrior of light. I mean darkness. Ah, you are returned. Have you dealt with the flame spores by the western entrance as well? Excellent. No more poisonous spores irritating our noses for a little while at least. Oh dear, I believe I'm getting sentimental. Having a patron again. It reminds me of the days of old. Fair every day, I would carry my wares to the castle to offer in exchange for men's patronage. Back then, the castle wasn't called Liagia. The Verbidites built it, and they named it Groon's Licht. It was their last bastion in the struggle against sin-eaters, and now they're gone. All of them. Nobles and knights and common folk alike. But enough reminiscing. I must give you what you've earned. And if you desire anything else I possess, I would be glad to offer them to you. For a fitting price, of course. Poor doggos. They're lonely. They're sad. They just need masters to serve. East Gift's shop is now open for business. Now, will you be offering your patronage to anyone else? If so, would you consider Wid Lad? They've been under the weather of late, and the chance to perform an honorable task would cheer them up. Alright. What? You would be my patron? But I can't can't do anything for you. The lawless ones took my invisible ink, and without it I can't make my arcane wares. Who are the lawless ones? They're new Mo like us, except they've turned their backs on our values. Curs without honor they are. They refuse to work, instead spending all their time cavorting and making a nuisance of themselves. It was when I was outside for a walk that they set upon me and robbed me of my possessions, the ink included. I was too weak to resist them, but you, mortal, you look quite strong. Do you think you can take back my ink from those villains? If you do this, I will consider it your patronage, and by way of my service, I will make you something very special. Excuse me, Rislin, but I couldn't help overhearing. If you mean to undertake this task, will you let me accompany you? I would learn from you, and help in what little way I can. Well, just don't get in my way. No, I'm not gonna be mean. Minfilia needs somebody in her life who's not a dick, who's not always yelling at her like Thancred. I have to be nice. I have to be nice. You're welcome to join. Thank you so much. The lawless one makes their lair to the south, inside a cave called Father Collard's Chambers. They took many vials of ink, and I would be grateful if you could bring as many back as possible. Let's go. Alright. So where are we going? All the way down here. Alright, I'm just gonna make it a little faster. Alright, so where are we going? Where are we going? These are the lawless ones. Oh, here's Minfilia. Father Collard's Chambers is through here. I peered inside, and sure enough, it was milling with Numo. They looked none too friendly. If Thancred were here, he'd tell me to go about it quietly and quickly. Let us split up. Find all the ink I can and then come back outside. See you shortly, Rislin. If Thancred gets mad at this poor child for going with me on this little excursion, he's gonna catch hands. I'm just saying. He better not be fucking abusing this poor child. Oh, here's ink. Ink. Alright, back here. Let's get out of here. Verberdenburg. I like the name of that, Verberdenburg. Alright.
thank goodness. There you are. Those Numo are rather frightening. I'm glad you're safe.
Well, I'm glad you're safe too.
I haven't seen much actual combat, so I was a little nervous, but I'm happy I could help. The Minfilius before me battled Sin Eaters as part of the Yulmoran army. But that had all changed by the time I was found. They held me captive, so that I wouldn't follow in the others' footsteps. I'd still be in my cell now had Thancred not spirited me away. When he found me, I knew nothing of the world. I didn't know how to live, let alone fight. Thancred once told me that if the efforts to summon you failed, it would fall to me to face the Light Wardens. I realized then that it was the only reason he kept me close. As a contingency. The truth is, he can't stand to be around me. Because I'm not her. I'm not his Minfilia.
Oh my god.
Once, we journeyed to Nabatha together. To the place where the Oracle appeared and stayed the flood. As we drew near, I felt as though I was fading away. I shut my eyes and covered my ears, and then... I'm not sure what happened after that. I have a vague feeling that I said something to him. Only it wasn't me at all. It was her. Afterwards, Thancred didn't say a word. Only kept to himself and brooded. There's nothing I can do for him. Nothing I can offer but my presence. Though it only reminds him of his loss. She should be the one to live on. That's why I tried to find you. Because I knew that was what she wanted.
No!
But now that you're here, I'm not entirely sure what it was she intended me to do. Was I meant to tell you something or bring you to someone or somewhere? I can feel the answer at the edge of my mind, just out of reach.
What?
What is that?
Why? Why did you imprison us? Such boredom, such tedium have we suffered. It is unfair. Unfair.
Uh-oh.
Come and play with us.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, that was a little creepy.
It came from the castle.
Yeah, it's a bit spooky.
This is everything I have. Please see it delivered to the Numo. I will bear word to Thancred and the others.
Oof. Oof. Alright. Oh, we're just gonna go right there. We're just gonna pour it over there. There we go. Wid lad. Mercy, your majesty. We had no choice. Please, forgive us. Oh no, what did you do, Ray? What did you do? Oh, it's you. My ink. You were able to retrieve it. Yes, this is the ink, and almost all of it too. When our king spoke to me, my day went from bad to worse, but thanks to you, it's simply bad again. What? You had the vision too? Oh, woe is us. Ordinarily, when a living being turns into a sin-eater, it loses everything about its mind that defined it. However, the king has retained some of their instinct. This manifests in the desire to play and be free. So strong is that desire, it often leaks through the seal to invade our consciousness. For a long time we've ignored it, but we can't do so forever. But forgive me, I was going to thank you for reuniting me with my ink. You did exactly as I asked, so I will give you the service I promised. Nothing up my sleeve, and voila! May it serve you well. I don't know what he gave me, but okay. Ah, there's nothing like honorable work. Thanks again for giving me the opportunity. Oh, I should mention that Elder Wid Enk returned a moment ago. If you seek them out, I dare say they'll have tidings for you. What is with these names? Wid Enk. Hopefully we're almost done with the new mode, and we can go look at the get the other stuff done. Alright, Domeg. Elder's answer. Okay, we're only a couple of quests. Only a couple of quests away. A few quests away from Titania. Ah, there you are. I'm informed that you've been an excellent patron to our people. For that, you have my thanks. Now then, you will be pleased to hear that we've come to a decision regarding the scepter. If you would gather your companions, I will deliver our answer. Yeah, hopefully I don't wait too long to get in that trial. That's not a fun one to do. Well, with Sprouts. Not a fun one to do with Sprouts. Before I begin, please allow me to express my gratitude for your kind patronage. Having been deprived of purpose for so long, our people are overjoyed at being able to serve again. But on to the matter of the stone scepter. During our deliberations, we were forced to concede that we will never have the power to deal with our fallen monarch. We can release Titania neither from the castle nor from torment. In light of this, we have decided to entrust their fate to you. Take it, the stone scepter of the new Mo. Well, this makes 3 relics. One more, and we can arrange a meeting with the warden. Ere you continue your quest, allow me to enlighten you as regards your foe. Know that Titania is not a name, but a title bestowed upon one chosen to lead the Pixies by the grace of nature. This leader, upon Ilmeg's founding, arose as ruler of all Fae folk to bring order to our riotous kind. In our turn, we Fae folk render our blessing unto nature, unto water, wood, and wind, that our king might be further empowered. Though they are become a sin-eater, their powers remain unchanged. When you face them, be prepared to face the full fury of nature. Oh dear, is there anything else that we should know? Anything else? Only that if you feel unready for the challenge, and none here would blame you for it, you are welcome to remain among us a while longer. After all, I myself have yet to enjoy your patronage, and who knows when I will next have the chance. We would see that you are comfortable, of course, and do all in our power to make you feel at home. Oi! Honestly, I look away for one moment and every fairy and their uncle tries stealing my sapling from me. This is my sapling! Mine, do you hear? Not yours and not the Fwath's. And anyone who so much as thinks about trying to seduce her will wish they hadn't. He's a little, possessive. The final relic is a pair of shoes wrought of crystal. They are held in the Amaro safekeeping at their settlement, Wollockdorf. It beareth mentioning that these Amaro are unlike those which thou hast heretofore encountered. Owing to a peculiarity of evolution, they are capable of speech, and thus we might negotiate with them as we have the Fae folk. So, talking chocobos. Though it saddens us to see you leave, we wish you well on your way. When you arrive in Willockdorf, seek out the largest of the Amro. His name is Seto, and he is their leader and the bearer of the relic. Alright, now we gotta go to Willockdorf. Oh. One of these days I will no longer be congested. Oh, here he is. An enormous Amro slumbers peacefully. What will you say? Mog. No, Seto. Ardbert? Oh, forgive me. I was having a dream. Seldom do men visit us. What brings you to our village? Did I hear you aright? You desire the crystal shoes, that you may confront the Light Warden. No, you mustn't think such thoughts. Even if you are indeed immune to the light's corruption, as you claim, vanquishing the king will bring you naught but sorrow. Forget this folly. Return whence you came. While we appreciate your concern, we have no choice in the matter. Will you not reconsider? Come, my friends, let us leave him with his thoughts. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to hear. 'Tis harder by far to change the minds of they who mean well than they who mean ill. Forgive me, but I'm not sure I understand. And little wonder, 'tis the first time thou hast set foot here. 'Twould behoove you all to learn something of the nature of this community, I think, and there is no surer way than to speak with its members. In such wise, you will come to understand Seto's reasoning for refusing us, and, I hope, gain an insight into how he may yet be persuaded. So I bid ye seek out the Amro and make yourselves known to them. A gentle touch shall suffice by way of a greeting. Alright, so we gotta go pet some Amro, right? We gotta go pet some some big chocobos. There we go. Well now, it is not often that we are visited by men, much less unglamoured ones. What brings you so far from your own kind? I guess I gotta pet it. I gently pet Rispa. Krrr. Ah, how long has it been since last I felt man's touch? I cannot help but be reminded of my master's hand. He was a knight of Verbert, a noble and valiant soul. But like so many others, he died fighting the Sin-Eaters. Though he is long departed, I remain in this land out of respect for his memory. Ah, the tickles. Enough! I never had a master. I'm not accustomed to it. Not that I dislike your kind, you understand. On the contrary, we Amuro were bred to be fond of men. In the beginning, we were all of us mindless beasts, but then a mage of Ranka gave us the gift of intelligence, that we might better serve our masters. After that empire fell, those with the gift eventually died out. On rare occasions, however, we are born with the seed of our ancestors in us. If we live long enough amongst men, this seed may quicken, restoring the power of speech to us amongst other things. So it was with me, though I never had a master, as I told you. Interesting. Grr. What's happening? Why am I being patted? It's wonderful. Seldom do we have the chance to enjoy the attentions of men. Your kind are loath to come here for fear of the Faefolk. But then we are Faefolk too. When first we made our home here, we swore an oath to the Fairy King, you see. 'Tis easy to forget sometimes. Thou hast peered into the hearts of the Amuro, I take it. Then thou canst not choose but see the intense and abiding love they bear for men. It is out of concern for our welfare, and not scorn, that Seto seeketh to dissuade us from confronting their king. Yet confront their king we must, and to that end we must needs have the crystal shoes. Rizlan, might I prevail upon thee to confer with Seto in private? The task of slaying the Light Warden will ultimately be thine. It is for thee, I believe, that he worrieth most. Tell him of thy many great deeds. Spoken in earnest, thy words may yet move him to change his mind. Alright, well, see if we can get this to work. You have spoken with my brethren. Then you see it is not out of scorn that I deny you the relic. I simply cannot bear to see men fight and die. Not anymore. None of us can. To lose one who has placed a gentle hand on us, even once, fills our hearts with untold sorrow, as my brothers and sisters will readily attest. This is something I must do. Come on, Seto, just... What am I to make of such declarations? Tell me, why do you wish this? This land is no longer man's to fight for, nor will your doing so compel the Faefolk to change. And in order to obtain the other relics, you will already have paid the due price. Not more is owed. Why then would you risk all to face our fallen king? To keep a promise to friends? Maybe? I don't know. What did you say? The very words. Could it be mere coincidence? Very well. You may believe what you say, but we shall see if you have the strength to do it. Sin-eaters have been prowling the area of late. Prove yourself against them, and I will consider giving you the relic. See that you are well prepared, then meet me in the clearing to the east. There I will lure out the fiends, that you may slay them. Save the world. Well, yeah, but I don't know if that really, you know, someone's gonna believe me when I say that. You're like, you save the world? Pfft. Yeah, whatever. I will use my voice to lure out the sin-eaters, as I once did when I hunted with an old friend. A feeble cry for the ravenous, a mighty roar for the territorial. I still remember the tricks. But come, we begin at your signal. Speak, it's okay. Ready then? Very well. No, I couldn't. Most likely I couldn't. Oh, check that out. Uh-oh, more of them. I do like the Amuro. I do like them. Is that it? Oh no, forgiven deceit. Alright. You made short work of those creatures. I will not deny it. I have seen enough. Let us return to Wallachdorf. Turbo turkeys? What? Oof, oof, oof. By the ease with which you slew those sin-eaters, I see that you are capable. However, I still require time to think, and if you should be willing, there is a favor I would ask of you. Everybody's always wanting favors. This is not a test of your strength, but a personal request. Please, hear my tale. A while ago, I fought sin-eaters who had wandered into Ilmag. In the heat of battle, I dropped a prized possession, a medallion. Of all the places that it should fall, it was Longmire Lake. We Amuro are not fond of water. We certainly cannot dive very deep. I briefly entertained the thought of turning to the Fuath, but they are more likely to keep my medallion out of mischief than return it to me. I had despaired of retrieving my treasure, but having seen what you are capable of, perhaps you will be able to find it. While I ponder your request for the shoes, will you not go and search for my medallion? If it should elude even you, I will accept that it is gone forever. Alright. Alright, I think we're getting close. We're getting close. We're on Memento of a Friend. Let's see. Oh, yes. The next quest is the trial, so we'll get this done before the end of the stream today. Hopefully, assuming we don't get, like, a group that just can't kill her. We won't, I don't think we will completely, well, yeah, we probably should completely finish up Ilmag today. Oh, okay. Finish that up today. There we go. We should get a pretty good, like, info dump after we're done with Titania, I think. Okay, so I think it's down here. Alright. Good thing I can breathe underwater. Maybe it's in here. This looks like a church. Aha! Maybe this is it. And I got it. Alright. You are returned. How fared your search? Yeah, it is the whale mount. I am not gonna pay, what is it, 40 bucks worth though. I could be buying more romancing mobster games for 40 bucks.
My medallion! You found it! Oh, I know not how to thank you. It is my most treasured possession. A gift from a dear departed soul. He was a traveler, and together we journeyed to the ends of the world and back again. When I was young. In those days, I could not speak. But we found joy in each other's company nonetheless. Oh, the memories. This medallion he found during an adventure. Fashioned it into a necklace for me, his partner in crime. I had not the words to tell him then, but it filled my heart with pride. I was so happy. His name was Artbert, and he was my friend.
Ardbert, thou sayest?
Everyone blamed him for the flood. Him and his comrades. Some few spoke up for them, of the many whose lives they had touched. But as the years went by, their voices were drowned out by those who only uttered the adventurers' names as a curse. It was too much to bear. And so I left behind men and their lies, and came to this place. Ardbert was a trusting soul, constantly being drawn into the troubles of others. Yet in spite of this, he never thought twice when he saw someone in need. He always tried to help. It was no different then. The world needed heroes. It needed him. And yet, he was a good man. He deserved to be happy. I wish I could have told him that, at least.
I'm sure Ardbert knows how you feel.
You remind me of him. Your kindness.
I am ugly crying.
When we Amaro were created, we were granted the ability to perceive souls. Thus did we recognize our masters. That ability has long since faded from our kind. But due perhaps to my reversion, I can see your soul. Faintly, but surely. It is reminiscent of Ardbert's. Strikingly so. Of course, you are you and no one else. We are defined not by the soul we are born with, but the path we walk. Nevertheless, I cannot help but feel that this is more than mere coincidence. Which is why I will place my faith in you. The relic. It is yours.
There's trouble! Terrible trouble!
Oh noes.
something happened at Lida Loran.
Together with the twins, we were playing tricks on some nasty mortals to stop them from setting foot in Il Meg. At first they ran off screaming, which was lots of fun. But then a scary, bony, wrinkly old mortal came along and spoiled everything. None of our tricks seemed to work on him, which is no fun at all. And now they're getting closer and closer.
Ranjit. If he manages to find his way in, all our efforts will have been for naught.
As thou sayest. Should we be discovered ere our mission here is complete, and the Light Warden yet liveth, our task will be rendered nigh impossible. If we are to prevail, we must needs divide our forces. Thus do I propose the following. Whilst thou salliest forth to meet with the Light Warden, we shall join in the effort to obstruct the trespassers. Should we succeed in staying their advance, all the better. Yet even should we fail, if we can but delay our enemy's arrival long enough for thee to secure victory, our plan may still be deemed a success.
So the moment the lights go out, we all beat a hasty retreat, yes?
Let me come with you. I have the blessing too.
No, Midfelia. You'll only get on the foot. Now come.
God damn it, Thancred. Stop this. Oh.
I wish there were more I could do. Please be careful.
I know! This poor child. Urianger, do something! Fuck. Why does everybody let him treat her like shit? Seriously. Where is fucking Ishtola? Let her smack him around. Forgive me. It seems my indecision has cost you precious time. But I am convinced now. Convinced that you will triumph. To the south you will find the bridge to Liagia. As the bearer of the 4 relics, the gate to the castle will open to you. Next week, BB10. We're getting there. The gate has recognized you, that you bear all 4 relics. The seal is broken. That is a big gate. They like their big doors in this game. All that remains is to enter the castle and confront Titania, being bereft of reason and mercy. It is sure to be a ferocious battle. If anyone can bring an end to our king's torment, it is you. Yet know this, my adorable sapling. Though we fae-folk may appear to live unfettered lives, there are still laws that bound us. To take back as much as is taken, to create as much as is destroyed, to give as much as is received. In all things balance must be preserved, and the same will be asked of you. But worry not. Come what may, your beautiful branch will ever be at your side. So there must always be a Titania. Is that what we're looking at here? This is so pretty. I love this the zone and the castle and everything. All right, use the duty finder to confront Titania. So let's see. We need the dancing plague. 5 minutes. Hopefully we don't have to wait longer than that. But I do, yeah. I really do like this zone. And even though it's like the light is streaming down from the sky, I think it's very pretty. It's prettier this way than when we ultimately get rid of it. Come here, Chewie. Oh, there we go. There we go. All I needed to say was Chewie and it pops. No, it's not the wrong one. Who goes there? Are you the one who broke the seal? So much time lost. So much frolicking and feasting left undone. We must make up for it, we must. Beginning by playing with you. There we go. We have any sprouts in here? Oh, this much. No, I don't know. Oh, knew somebody who hasn't done it before. I don't remember how to do this. Somebody was snacking on pizza. We got 2 Dark Knights. 2 Dragoons. I guess we're supposed to go on these.
When you play with fire. Look at this cramped old castle. Let's play in the
There we go. Oops, that guy got stuck. Oh, I'm gonna die, you guys. Oh. I almost drove the husband out of bed the other night with my hacking. It was horrible. He almost went into the guest room. Oh, that didn't go over well. Oh my god, he does this shit. I'm just about to have him healed. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's gonna have to wait 30 seconds. I don't have time. It is a very different song for the trials. As you will notice, some of the trials, the themes are fairly unique. I'm trying to remember, what is the second trial? Oh, yeah. I can't tell you. It's a spoiler. I don't know which one to go for first. Yes, this one. Oh man. Oh no. And I died. Oh well, that was dumb. And I am back. They got me up pretty fast. Remember, don't stand in the blue. Don't stand in the blue. Just stand at the edge of the blue, and then you're good. Yeah, don't stand in it. Just on the edge of it.
And dance like the leaves on the vine.
Alright.
This is so much fun. Let's play some more.
Uh-oh. I've barely done this one, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really like this. I don't really like this trial. Unfortunately, it is like totally required. Oh, this guy just died. don't think I'll be done with this soon. Alright. Okay, done. That was the only one I was worried about. The next one is...
We can play no more.
Oh, yes! Come on! Suck that light right in me. I'm ready for it. Let's go. What? It's great! Makes me feel alive. Well, it's not cocaine. I mean, it's white, but it's not exactly cocaine. Maybe it is. I don't know. And it's night again. It's funny how we do this whenever we're like killing a night warden. It happens to just be night. Jeffrin gets it. There you go.
You have freed our fallen king. Not that I expected any less, my Snayak. The dress, the crown, the scepter, the shoes. The time has come for these relics to serve their true purpose. For they are not only keys to the castle, they are also blessings to be bestowed upon the new king. The way into the castle is opened when it is time to relieve the reigning monarch of the throne. And the brave soul who does the deed has the honor of taking their place. However, should you ascend the throne, you will become one of us. Never again to live as men do.
Oh boy. Pressure. Pressure.
My adorable sapling. My precious mortal. We Fae folk live forever, but such is not your virtue. To strive for a dream you will never see. To sow seeds that others might one day taste the fruits of your garden. That is the beauty of your kind. Burn bright and shine as only you can. These blessings, your lovely branch will accept in your stead.
Now that is a glow up. He, they.
Ilichla, Ilmek, Okbra.
He said Elmeg, which makes me think that the name Elmeg is Kingdom of Rainbows in their tongue.
Now, shall we attend to those unwise enough to trespass in our realm?
Confound it. How did they get here so fast?
Damn these pixies and their tricks!
How in the seven hells?
Listen well. We come in pursuit of villains who have fled to this land.
Ranjit has no chill.
You know who
at all.
and where they are. Now show yourselves and answer me before I lose my patience.
Oh, stop! It hurts! It hurts!
Enough! Lift the enchantment!
Minfilia, willful child, how many times must I come to collect you?
I won't return to your mom. And I won't let you hurt my friends.
What is this stance? Where did you learn it? No oracle I trained would make such an unseemly show of herself. Know your shame, gal. You're powerless. You have no life nor purpose, save that which our master sees fit to permit.
Who are you to dictate her purpose? To lock her away and deny her a life? If she was powerless, it's because of you, you sanctimonious swine. But no longer.
Fool! Defiance only begets more suffering. It is through acceptance alone that one may find solace in this god's-forsaken world.
Look! The sky!
She's done it. The Warrior of Darkness has triumphed.
General? What are our orders? What do we do?
We do what we came to do. Subdue this rabble and find the Warrior of Darkness.
Forward, men! Take the villains captive! Are you deaf?
They're running.
I said...
Oh shit!
What? What's happening?
Water? That wasn't there before. Ah!
Orwai Kansasi, Orwai Kinsi.
Help me! What's the matter with you? Get a hold of yourselves, damn it!
You better get your ass out of there.
General, they come in greater numbers. We must retreat.
All who stand with a Warrior of Darkness shall face justice.
My master demands it.
They are turbo turkeys. You can get one for a mount, but I have to level up all the classes to 80, and I don't have that yet, done that yet, so it'll be a while.
I see. Well, it's a good thing Fair all volunteered to become king in your stead, for all our sakes.
We are grateful for your timely aid, Feaul, or should I say, your majesty.
It was the first night in recent memory. We all of us but wished to make the most of it. That's something you must remember about us Fae folk. Though our existence may be eternal, we exist only for the present. We live in the here and now, paying no mind to futures that may or may not be. To wit, we are not driven as men are. We cannot fight for such causes as men do.
Does that mean you won't aid us against the Sin Eaters?
Not unless the mood takes us. But if it was to repay a debt, well then, that's another matter. To take back as much as is taken. To create as much as is destroyed. To give as much as is received. Such is the way of Ilmeg. By this law, we shall lend you our strength. In return for the beautiful sky you have restored to us. In times of need, do not hesitate to call.
Wow. What about our pact?
Silly sapling. I shall remain at your side. Even should my body be in the castle, 'tis a simple thing to have a little part of me accompany you. Treat them as you would your Isnefis.
I need more expectorant. Alright. I'm going to train harder. Having seen what you've achieved, it's the least I can do. Well done, my friend. Put me to shame, laying low as Light Warden while I struggled to land a blow on an old man, a man old enough to be my great-grandsire. Seems I was wrong about your friend. Had Faeul not stepped in, you'd be frolicking with the fairies by now. It was pure luck that we managed to hold the Umorans at bay long enough for you to succeed, but we have earned some good fortune. And while it is plain we've not yet seen the last of General Ranjit, I for one am glad to delay our reckoning with him a while longer. Never for a moment did I doubt that thou wouldest triumph over thy foe. Yet the majesty of thine achievement delighteth me none the less. Night hath returned to Ilmeg, and we stand one step closer to delivering the first from its doom, and averting the 8th umbral calamity. 'Tis but a pity thou wert not present to see the faithful put the Umorans to flight. 'Twas a sight to raise the spirits, I do assure thee. Ah, but what valuable allies they might prove, were the mood only to take them. Alright. I knew you could do it, and not only because of your blessing. You have a strength all your own. It has seen us through many a trial. With the warden defeated, I believe our work here is done. It is time we were going together, needless to say. To the bitter end, the fate of our two worlds being at stake and all that. Now then, I suggest we hurry back to the Crystarium. Much and more may have happened while we were frolicking with the Fae folk. That Ranjit elected to pursue us makes me hopeful the city was spared Yumora's attentions, but I would sooner see for myself. Besides, I believe I speak for us all when I say that I've had a belly full of ill mag. Let us away before the fairies think to play with us again. All right, back to the Crystarium. Let's go see the Crystal Exarch. Let's go see what he has to say. The Dussel Gate. We'll go check with him real quick, and then I've got to find dinner. I am hungry. I'm starving. It's like my body's like fighting this thing off, and it's using every store of my energy to fight off this thing, and I'm just starving all the time because of it. Ugh. I see nothing out of the ordinary. The city appeareth unchanged from when last I visited. There is the selfsame comforting hum of activity in the air. Though we've spent most of our time on the road, Minfilia and I actually have apartments here. Perhaps now we may finally make use of them. All seems well, thank goodness.
All seems well at the Crystarium.
Yes. Yulmore was plainly more concerned with finding us. How flattering.
Uh-oh.
You certainly took your time. I had half resolved to complete the task myself.
And you are...
Were one to study the annals of Garlean history, one would find yonder visage on many a page. Though by rights its youth should long since have faded.
Well, well, we have a historian in our midst. That spares me a lengthy explanation. I am Solus Sos Galvas, founding father of the Garlean Empire, and under various guises, the architect of myriad other imperially inclined nations. As for my true identity... I am Emmett Selk, Asian.
Gaius spoke of you, a native of the Source.
Equal in rank to La Habrea. And you came all this way just to introduce yourself to us?
Behold the sky, restored to its former glory. Have you ever seen a more affecting spectacle? Oh, it is truly, deeply... infuriating.
Oh, no.
Do you have any idea how much you have delayed the rejoining?
A lot, I hope.
Following the flood, the First had been listing ever further towards the light, towards stasis. The end was in sight. Enter man and his indomitable spirit. He would haul the world back from the brink. And
adding his lumpen weight to the power of growth, he duly tipped the scales, if only by a fraction. Yet a fraction was enough to spoil the perfect imbalance needed to bring about a rejoining. Had mankind continued to live in idleness under Vorthri's rule, all the conditions would have been met. But you had to come and ruin it all. Thanks to your meddling, light supremacy is in doubt, and our painstakingly laid plans are in tatters!
Well, I should begin by thanking you for confirming Urianger's theories on the inner workings of the Calamity. He will be most pleased. As for what happens next, might I suggest you admit defeat and walk away?
Happy to let me go, are you? Because the murderous glint in your eye suggests otherwise. Indeed, it is enough to make me think better of confronting you alone. Look, it did cross my mind to simply side with Vorthri and kill you all. But that's no different from what La Habre did. And we all know how well that ended for him. And so, while it is liable to be troublesome, I have settled upon a different approach. Cooperation.
What?
I will not raise a hand to hinder your hunt for the Light Wardens. If you desire it, I will even lend you my knowledge and strength.
Since time immemorial, you and yours have labored to rejoin the 13 shards, at the cost of countless lives. Do you expect us to believe that your objective has suddenly changed?
Nay, our objective is the same as it ever was. Though I dare say, you do not know our motive. A war waged without knowledge of the enemy is no war. It is mere bloodletting. Just once, might we not seek to find common ground? For good or ill, I am immortal. Provided I have the inclination, I can always begin anew, scheme and conspire to my heart's content. But this time I thought that I might instead try to see eye to eye, to understand what drives the hero of the source, to determine if our goals are truly incompatible. So come, shed your preconceptions. See beyond the unscrupulous villains you take us for. When all is said and done, we may find ourselves pleasantly surprised. The proud discoverers of a path of cooperation rather than opposition. Think of it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Thou hast delivered thy proposal, and we would not dismiss it outright. If I may offer thee counsel, however, to make thy case via an illusion reflecteth poorly upon thy sincerity.
My apologies. You will forgive me if I'm not entirely at ease in the presence of a famed Ascian Slayer. I felt it only prudent to take precautions. Nonetheless, your counsel is duly noted. I take my leave, friends. Rest assured, we shall meet again soon.
Whew. Okay. Okay. Finding common ground with an Ascian. My entire being rebels at the very notion that an Ascian of Emmet-Selt's standing should willingly reveal himself unto us, and at this of all junctures, is most interesting. He appears to be gone, but I won't be lowering my guard just yet. So that was an Ascian. Thancred told me about them. Preparation? He can't be serious, can he? Well, we've certainly been given much to ponder, but first things first, we should report to the Exarch. You can run along, Rosalind. We're perfectly capable of handling this little task. In light of your recent exertions, I'd say you earned a rest. Go on, take yourself off to bed. We'll see you later, refreshed and ready for more. You know what this means? We get to see our buddy Ardbert again. You remember? Remember back in Heaven's Ward BB10? Remember whenever the Warriors of Darkness would show up? And you were like, those guys, not these guys. And I said, just you wait. One of these days, you're gonna really like that guy. And you said, no way. The Warriors of Darkness are cringy. And then we started playing this. Welcome back, miss. We've been expecting you. You will find refreshments laid out in your quarters. We hope they are to your liking. Will you be retiring now? Why, yes, I shall. Very good, miss. I bid you a pleasant evening. Oh, sandwiches. And wine! Yes! They laid out some wine. I think it's time for a drink. 2 bottles. I hope the past few days have not been overly taxing. Pray take your rest and recover.
From the Exarch, is it? With that mirror of his, he can watch your every move, you know. You'll probably think you're talking to yourself.
I never thought about that.
Still, he's keeping you well fed. Judging by his people's faith in him, he seems to be a decent sort. But so much about him remains shrouded in mystery. Like, what was he doing back in my day? There was no such person when I was around.
Good question.
A lot's happened since the flood, though. Since I was set adrift. I know little more than you do of this city's history in the Exarch's past. Not that it matters. It's Emmett's Selk we should be concerned about. When our world was about to be consumed by light, the Ascian in white appeared before us. He said that the only way for us to live on was to bring about the rejoining.
Frickin' Litibus.
Desperate as we were, we heeded his words, not realizing that the flood was of the Ascian's own making. They cannot be trusted. None of them. But Emmett Selk had one thing right. One should not fight blindly. That's what we did. And it cost us everything we held dear.
Tell me about Seto.
What? What about Seto? What is there to say? All right. He's done some growing. When we were traveling together, he was nowhere near as big. And he obviously couldn't speak. I had no idea how much that medallion meant to him. What about you, anyway? You must have a friend like Seto. Chocobo, perhaps? Come on, you tell me something for a change.
And he can't eat. Ardbert can't eat, he can't feel. nothing. He's just wandering for 100 years as a ghost. It's so sad. Oh, I must have eaten all the sandwiches. That was a lot of sandwiches. Oh, I'm gonna tell you this. I am hungry. I am hungry. I'm gonna tell you this, BB10. By the end of this, well, I think probably by the end of 5.0, Ardbert is gonna be your favorite character of this expansion. Well, I don't know. Maybe Emmett Selk will be too. A lot of people really love Emmett Selk. I like him a lot, but I am not like in love with him like some other people are. But still. Anyways, I have to get myself some food. I gotta get better. I gotta get better so that I can do my full voice acting for you guys.